FC Cincinnati fans, please help us welcome tonight's officials. Victor Rivas, Adrian McDonald, Kyle Mouse, and Mike Nicholson. And now tonight's starting lineup. First, we're visiting North Carolina FC. The goalkeeper, number 1, Alex Delbacas. A defender, number 3, Ivo Duai. A defender, number 5, Michael Harrington. Midfielder, number 6, Austin Balloons. Midfielder, number 10, Kyle Becker. Forward, number 14, Daniel Rios. Midfielder, number 16, Grant Smith. Midfielder, number 18, Marcel Canziora. A defender, number 27, DJ Taylor. A defender, number 31, Stephen Miller. And a defender, number 98, Cody Danson. And the head coach of North Carolina FC is Colin Clark. And now, tonight's starters for FC Cincinnati. The goalkeeper from Virginia Beach, Virginia, number 1, Evan. A defender from Leytonstone, England, number 32, Justin. A defender from Rosh Hashanah, Israel, number 21, Deco. A defender from Waterford, Ireland, number 29, Patty. A defender from Bernie, Texas, number 23, Blake. A midfielder from Tipperary, Ireland, number 16, Richie. A midfielder from Wycliffe, Ohio, number 6, Kenny. A midfielder from Plano, Texas, number 19, Corbin. A midfielder from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 5, Nazmi. A midfielder from Quilmes, Argentina, number 45, Emmanuel. And a forward from Tinsburg, Denmark, number 11, Danny. FC Cincinnati is led by head coach Alan Coach, assistant coach Yolan Goumet, goalkeeper coach Jack Stern, athletic trainer Aaron Powell, strength coach Austin Mary. Team medical care is provided by Dr. Angelo Polissimo and Brian Browley from UC Health. FC Cincinnati is presented by UC Health. Now please rise and welcome to the pitch, North Carolina FC and FC Cincinnati.
Wednesday night, the FC Cincinnati attack continued to roll, scoring 4 times in their Open Cup victory over Detroit City, including Emery Welshman's first career hat trick. Tonight, the Orange and Blue return to league play with their focus solely on a result in their first meeting with North Carolina FC. Wet day in Cincinnati has turned dry, and the friendly confines of Nippert Stadium welcomes FC Cincinnati home for the first time in 2 weeks. Good evening. evening and welcome on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Tom Glitter, thrilled to be alongside my broadcast partner Kevin McCloskey as we get you set for the first ever meeting between FC Cincinnati and North Carolina FC. And for the orange and blue, back starting in league play is Nazmi Al-Badoui, a young man with a lot of familiarity with North Carolina FC, 121 appearances for the visiting side. But for Alan Koch atop that diamond, he brings some special talent.
Yeah, I think a good opportunity for him to play against his old team. I think Nazmi as well. I don't think we've seen his best yet. You know, I think he still has a lot more in that locker to bring him to true form. So I think the fans will be excited. He's certainly been a fan for a bit, and hopefully he can put in a good performance tonight.
Only 3 USL appearances so far for Nazmi this season. He'll make his 4th as he's back in the starting 11. Alongside him, back healthy again, is Evan Newton, the goalkeeper for FC Cincinnati. He started the Open Cup match on Wednesday night, and you see the goalkeepers as 2 key members of the starting lineup tonight.
You asked the question during the week, Tommy. Obviously, Evan Newton gets the go-ahead start, which is, you know, obviously good for him. Back-to-back starts, and he faces Tambakis, who has played more minutes than any other player for North Carolina as well. So I think tonight we've got to give some love to the goalkeepers. And I think that'll be the key matchup.
They certainly both will be challenged tonight. Nazmi and Evan are in the starting 11 for Alan Koch. We'll show you the other 9 and check in from downstairs for the first time tonight when we return. North Carolina FC and FC Cincinnati clash for the first time next. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glitter and Kevin McCloskey back with you at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati and North Carolina FC have taken the pitch. It's a blackout in the Queen City, so the home side wearing their 3rd all-black kits tonight. It's time to take a look at this evening's starting lineups, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places for Alan Koch. Manu Ledesma back into the starting 11. He was injured last week with a core injury. Great to see that he is healthy enough to get a go tonight. Nazmi Al-Badoui, as we mentioned, will start atop the 4-4-2 diamond. And then Paddy Barrett stepping in. Forrest Lasso will miss minutes for the first time in league play all year. He is on a yellow card suspension, so Barrett into the starting 11 alongside Deco Kanon there. And we mentioned Evan Newton starting at goalkeeper. At the other end for North Carolina FC, my broadcast partner Kevin McCloskey already told you about the goalkeeper, Alex Tambakis, but Daniel Rios, he's the guy to keep an eye on up top. The forward, number 14, leads the team with 4 goals so far this season. The 3rd member of our broadcast team is Lindsay Patterson. She's down on the field. Let's head downstairs for the first time tonight.
Yeah, guys, it's all about carrying that Open Cup momentum. I actually talked to Alan Koch just about that prior to kick, how you manage and balance going from Open Cup play to league play. And he says you pretty much can't get too high on the highs or low on the lows. And the guys who didn't see action against Detroit, well, they were already starting to prepare for North Carolina FC. It's just about taking one game at a time and being in go mode.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Levy Law Offices, where they turn your crash into cash for FC Cincinnati. Good news, it's getting shorter. Tyler Gibson remains out with the ankle injury, and Lance Lang out with illness this evening. Evan Newton and Nazmi Al-Badwi, as we said, off that list, and that is certainly great news. Tonight's match official is Victor Rivas, and it's brought to you by Kingsgate Transportation. FC Cincinnati will stand over the ball again in their third black kits tonight. And the first ever meeting between North Carolina FC and FC Cincinnati is underway here at Nippert Stadium, where a crowd of about 23,000 is expected. It rained pretty much all day, but the sun is shining on the upper deck right now, and what looked like a miserable day has turned into a pretty nice evening, Kevin.
Yeah, perfect conditions, honestly, Tommy, for a game. Like you said, rained all day. So certainly the sunshine is going to bring a lot of energy and spark to this crowd as well.
Barrett sent a long ball forward. Bit too heavy in the direction of Danny Koenig, who's starting up top with Manu Ledesma. And we saw it a couple weeks ago. Those two really have started to develop great chemistry atop the 4-4-2 diamond.
I think they really complement each other. You know, I think Ledesma is a very creative, crafty player. I think Danny Koenig is a player that certainly has a high work rate. I think being able to be in a position where you're finding Ledesma underneath Danny Koenig and find him service in behind the back line, I think that's something that's been very, very positive and something that hopefully continues tonight.
Nazmi knocked it back to Justin Hoyt, who sends it up the middle. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by U.S. Bank. North Carolina FC will pick it back up in the midfield. And working it forward on the right side is Stephen Miller. Miller gets tangled up with Blake Smith. He'll be called for the foul. And they'll turn it around. FC Cincinnati working right to left here in the first half. Evan Newton started the first 5 USL games of the season for FC Cincinnati and Alan Koch. Then he had the hip injury, missed 4 straight league matches, and back in to the starting 11 for the first time tonight in USL play since the Pittsburgh match on April 21st. Blake Smith poking it away from behind. North Carolina FC wanted a foul call. Stephen Miller will not get it. Visitors clad in all white will work far touchline. Along the back line to Footy Danso, the defender from Gambia. And back to the goalkeeper, Alex Tambakis. Tambakis spent time in Greece as a professional, where he was transferred to Atlanta United in 2016. So if the name is familiar, it's because at the time Atlanta had the affiliation with Charleston. So he played with Charleston while Atlanta United was building their Major League Soccer side.
You should see if the rest is just building, not trying to rush it too much.
Barrett in the midfield. Over to the right side, Hoyt. Nazmi playing it forward. North Carolina FC will pick it back up. Graham Smith, the midfielder, got a touch. Justin Hoyt will throw it in, and as he does, Kevin, let's take a look at your keys to victory tonight for the Orange and Blue.
You know, being able to rotate on Wednesday and having those rested players, I think, should be massive impact tonight. You know, Richie Ryan, Declan Keenan, those guys are going to come in, bring a lot of experience and talent. I think the next thing as well is defensively, you got to get back to that mentality of clean sheet. You know, I think we've seen it from this team, especially on the road. But I think coming in and using Nippert as a fortress tonight, I think is going to be very important.
Blake Smith, a left-footed cross, ended up in the chest of Corbin Bone. FC Cincinnati, however, able to maintain the possession. Ledesma making the run. And Manu was offside. Then he launched a shot in the chest of Tambakis and quickly apologized to the match official, Victor Rivas. Here's a look at the ball right onto the foot of Manu. Manu has to be careful, playing with 4 yellow cards so far this season. 1 more means a 1-match suspension, which if you missed the top of our broadcast, Forrest Lasso not on the pitch for the first time this season. So FC Cincinnati no longer has anybody who has played every minute of the USL season. Forrest was the only one to claim that, and he's a couple booths over to our right, sitting out on yellow card accumulation tonight.
It's challenge obviously for Paddy Barr to come back in. Thought he had a good performance on Wednesday, Tommy.
Paddy played very well in the Open Cup win, 4-1. For the native of Ireland, this is his second appearance and second start in league play this season. Up the right side, DJ Taylor got around Blake Smith, then Blake did well to play the ball off his foot and turn it around back into the midfield. Bone kept it alive on the near touchline into the middle, but Nazmi couldn't quite catch up with it.
Trying to shape here, Tommy, coming across in this diamond as well for FC Cincinnati. Going to be very important to try to keep North Carolina on one side. Defensively, try to keep it compact, and if they can press, I think you're definitely going to see them press a lot more tonight than probably before.
Walker playing on the right of the diamond, holding it in the midfield. Back to Kanan, who Kevin mentioned rested on Wednesday night. Deco Kanan sat out. Justin Hoyt, Richie Ryan, as well as Danny Koenig. So 4 of the 11 starters did not play on Wednesday. Certainly with fresh legs. Nazmi Al-Badwi into the 18, turned away by his former club. Barrett comes into the midfield to challenge for it and wins the challenge. It'll be a throw in for FC Cincinnati.
I think, obviously you talk about rotation, physically trying to rest Tommy as well, but I just even think mentally, I think it's massive being able to have that midweek game off, come back in with Nipper. Should be a big boost for this, this fan base behind him as well.
Smith will work it down along the end line. His cross is deflected away. Touched Blake Smith apparently last. Blake and Manu would disagree. And North Carolina FC will throw it in deep inside of their defensive third. This is a North Carolina team that has found their form as of late, unbeaten their last 5, including a Wednesday night 3-0 victory in the second round of the Open Cup, but in USL play unbeaten their last 4, 2-0-2. They struggled a little bit early, but also had a tough schedule early.
Sure.
And are a very talented club, regardless of where they currently sit on the Eastern Conference table.
Yeah, I think they had some change in the roster too, Tommy. So they started the season kind of slow, but like you said, the last 5 games, they've certainly picked up form. They've got talent throughout. So this is going to be a tough game tonight for FC Cincinnati.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50.
I think a big key really as well is energy, Tommy. We watched that game on Wednesday night in overtime. Really was like a different team.
Incredible energy over the last 30 minutes.
I was like, hey, what did you say to them? He's like, oh, I just told them to be patient.
And not panic.
And not panic. And I think really what that did was instill confidence.
Ball falls to Manu Ledesma on the left side. Ledesma will strike it and just misses as it hooks over the crossbar.
Great strike. He took his time on it as well, Tommy. Looked at the goalkeeper. Certainly shooting at the right corner. Great ball across. Defender just misreads it, but takes a touch with his head. Looks up. Good technique. Not far away at all.
Ball forward came off the foot of Paddy Barrett. Tambakis, the Greek goalkeeper, out into the midfield where Bone wins the header. Onto the foot of Danso. That'll come out wide to the right. That's DJ Taylor, the Raleigh, North Carolina native. Ledesma again gets a ball up the left side. Working with Danso defensively. Ledesma will send it in the middle, skips behind Danny Koenig. He overran it by just a hair.
I think the toughest thing too, really just had 2 targets. Danny Koenig had kind of played on the last center back. Nazmi Al-Badawi just was that late runner. I think a big thing, especially if we can find Ledesma in behind that space, is making sure that we get runners into the box, Tommy. Kenny Walker, Corbin Bone, those guys playing right and left side of the diamond, they've got to get forward, make it inside runs, provide different options then for the server.
Corbin Bone came off the bench on Wednesday in the Open Cup game and scored the game-winning goal, assisted by Emery Welshman. A shot from the left side sails over the goal. No trouble there for Evan Newton. I mentioned the guys who did not play. Kenny Walker should have been part of that group as well. He sat out and rested on Wednesday, so fresh legs for the Cleveland native. 10th minute at Nippert Stadium. Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson, and Tom Glader happy to be with you. Blake Smith forward to Corbin Bone. Now Bone will try to center it. North Carolina FC will win it back. Nazmi Al-Badawi battling with it. Walker picked it up, but his ball forward skipped past Danny Koenig.
Yeah.
Kenny was fouled on the effort, and that's where the free kick will come inside of the center circle.
Kenny reads it well too, intercepts it just on the pass, then has a little bit of contact, free kick. A lot of space over here on this left-hand side if you can find Blake early.
Bone working in the midfield will send it back to Newton. Certainly we'll talk about Nazmi quite a bit tonight and the great career he had with North Carolina FC. I know their supporters were sad to see him move to Cincinnati during the offseason, just as everybody here in the Queen City was excited to see him join the orange and blue. Ledesma pushing it forward to Nazmi. Nazmi just outside the 18, strikes it with his right foot, and right on cue, a huge goal for number 5.
What a hit that was, Tommy. We talked earlier about not seeing the best in Nazmi yet. I think he just answered that calling.
Certainly an emotional moment for Nazmi, scoring against his old team, and a huge confidence boost early for the orange and blue.
Great build-up play as well, just to find pockets of space. Corbin Bone leaves this. Little through pass. Nazmi's running on, looks at the goalkeeper. What a strike into the top corner. Great finish.
Remember when I told you
some good movement on that ball as well, Tommy?
The North Carolina supporters were upset to see Nazmi Al-Badawi no longer in a North Carolina FC uniform. Strikes like that make their heart hurt tonight.
Right on cue, too.
Al-Badawi's second goal of the season. And for Ledesma, his 5th assist. He now leads the USL with 5 assists, was tied for first. That is number 5.
Like I said, obviously a fantastic strike, but the build-up too I thought was good. It was very intricate in tight spaces. I thought Blake Smith did a good job of kind of getting into a good starting position. Corbin Bone and Ledesma on the same page, being able to dummy and move. And then what a finish.
FC Cincinnati doing a fantastic job controlling the possession early. Ledesma unable to pick up the ball there, battling with DJ Taylor, and touched it last. So a goal kick coming for Tambakis. Al-Badawi was part of the NASL Best 11 in 2016 and 17 with North Carolina FC. Scored 21 goals and had 18 assists over his 10,000 plus minutes playing in North Carolina. Centered ball doesn't get through to Rios, the leading scorer on the season for North Carolina. Blake Smith pushes it forward to Richie Ryan. Richie Ryan was also part of the NASL Best 11, as was Ledesma, who had the assist.
Smart from Ledesma, just draws in the pressure as well, Tommy. As soon as Richie Ryan plays that ball into him, he knows there's pressure there. He's drawn a foul, really. Didn't have a ton of space to change left or right.
Alan Koch couldn't have asked for a better start, being back here at Nippert Stadium after a tough USL loss last week at Charlotte 4-1. He said the entire team was disappointed with the performance. Thursday night on the radio show, Mo Egger asked him what went wrong at Charlotte, and Alan looked at him and said everything.
And listen, sometimes
some nights, yeah,
as a team, you know, that's going to happen.
If it happens 1 out of every 9 nights, that's not so bad.
And when it happens, usually you're on the road.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things.
You figure out what you did wrong and move on. Patty Barrett with a great challenge, far touchline, sent it out, throw in for North Carolina.
try to push into the attacking third. Danso will pick it up in the midfield. Onto the right side, Taylor. Now to the foot of Stephen Miller, the Pennsylvania native. Becker has it poked away by Richie Ryan. Badawi trying to feed it up the left to Manuel Ledesma. Comes off of Danso, and Ledesma keeps it alive.
Starting to have fun, Tommy. Little nutmeg.
Corbin Bone. Now Smith and FC Cincinnati will reset. We've seen it the last month or so when FC Cincinnati's attack is clicking on all cylinders. They are very dangerous in the final third, and they've proven that already here tonight. North Carolina throw in right in front of FC Cincinnati's bench. One back by the orange and blue.
Great ball
Desma off to Walker. Comes off his foot awkwardly. North Carolina will try to have something going in transition. It's Due the other way.
Doesn't happen very often by Kenny Walker. Just a little mistouch. Sets up a counter-attack for North Carolina, but FC Cincinnati recovered well, got numbers back behind the ball.
Danso will hold it right at midfield and then send it up the left side. DeLuce sends it towards the 18, and it'll bounce into the chest of Evan Newton. No trouble for the Virginia Beach native. Kanon back wearing the captain's armband tonight. Patty Barrett wore it with Kanon and Walker out. Those are the only two who have worn it this season for FC Cincinnati. Kanon has started every match except for the midweek USL match at Indy 11. That was the night Kenny Walker was the captain, and Patty Barrett earned that honor for the Open Cup match Wednesday. Richie Ryan has it come off his foot, and North Carolina has numbers. Shot taken. Kanon's going to have to clear it. Newton dove to his left.
Yeah.
And a great job by the veteran Dekel Kanon to get FC Cincinnati out of trouble.
Did what he had to, Tommy. He's reading the play. He sees that Richie Ryan loses this ball. Rios runs at speed, just comes across. And again, good interception by Dekel Kanon.
Rios, the striker for North Carolina FC. Kyle Becker, the Canadian midfielder, will take this corner kick. It's our first of the night. It's brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Becker to the right of Evan Newton. Far side of the pitch. Becker will strike it with his right foot. Richie Ryan there to defend it. Ends up straight into the air. Corbin Bone trying to keep it alive, cannot. And Becker will get another look from the far side. First big opportunities for North Carolina coming here in the last 2 minutes. Becker looking to set something up on the set piece. His service incoming. Bart gets his head on it and clears the 18. Taylor will keep it alive. Blake Smith coming over to get a piece of it. Miller pulls it down in the corner.
Important header, right, Tommy? Counter-attack could be on here, 2v2 if Ledesma plays quickly.
Ledesma is trying to get it forward to see if Tambakis was off his line.
I think, yeah. I know confidence is high right now, but I think I was a little bit ambitious.
From the midfield line.
Yeah.
FC Cincinnati leading 1-0 in the 19th minute, thanks to the strike from Nazmi Al-Badawi. Up against his former club, scoring his second goal of the season. Nazmi got some of his match fitness back on Wednesday, playing 65 minutes against Detroit City in the second round of the U.S. Open Cup, a match that the Orange and Blue went on to win 4-1. Taylor outside to Becker, and his strike is about 6 yards wide to the left of Evan Newton.
I think he's going to test Evan Newton really from 30 yards out, Tommy.
Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by Frisch's. Another great crowd on hand here in the Queen City, enjoying what they've seen thus far. Newton waiting for everybody to get out into the midfield. So all the outfielders bunched over towards the near side of the pitch, and Newton hits it.
Yeah, don't think he's very happy with that one.
Sailed into the scorers table right at midfield.
FC Cincinnati also have a chance probably to build out of the back, so I'm surprised that he went long with that instead of playing short.
Throw in North Carolina FC inside of the attacking third. Taylor will come over to take it. North Carolina 0-2-0 on the road this season, so they have not won away from Cary, North Carolina. Ledesma back to Smith. Blake Smith did not start that match on Wednesday, but did have to come in as a sub when Lance Lang went out. He is not available tonight with illness.
See, just the flow of the game really has been dictated mostly on this left-hand side, Tommy. Obviously, Ledesma is drifting over. I think if they can open up and stay balanced with it, certainly making North Carolina chase.
If you pulled up the heat map right now, I'm fully confident you would 100%. See all the hot spots on the near side.
Which is looking, Matty Barr probably to step into that space. Matty's got to drive a little bit more and try to find Justin Hoyt's feet.
Bone up the middle of the pitch. He'll poke it out wide to the right for Hoyt. Back to Walker. Bard will get it in the midfield. Back to Walker and over to Bone. Corbin Bone working across the middle. Can't connect with Manu Ledesma. Becker got in the way of it. And Hoyt will track down the loose ball far side. Keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. Smith back to the left side. Into the middle, Ryan. He'll send it over to the right. Hoyt pushing forward. Sends it into the middle. Koenig battling forward. It comes off his foot and rolls out along the end line.
I think Justin Hoyt honestly had time, Tommy, to take that down. Probably had a little bit of space as well. Instead, he tried to play one touch into Danny Koenig, but great spray pass again from Richie Ryan. Like I talked about, I think if they can just continue to make North Carolina chase, the space will be open, but they can eventually, penetrate vertically.
Badui up the middle.
Space here.
Osme with two defenders closing in. Drops it off for Corbin Bone. Now back to Richie Ryan. Smith will switch it over to the right. Midway point of the first half. FC Cincinnati leading by a goal in the 11th minute from Nazmi Badui. Smith tracking it down along the touchline and didn't quite get there. Throwing inside of the defensive third for North Carolina.
So far, being very impressed, Tommy, with FC Cincinnati's possession. Very patient, working it side to side. Really aggressive starting positions as well from the fullbacks, which I like to see. Very, very important in this 4-4-2 diamond.
Koenig making a run with Danso there.
Danny commits to the shoulder charge. I think he had actually body position on him. I think he probably could have snuck around, cut inside of Danso on that.
Was hoping for a foul call, didn't get it. Danso and Tambakis, the goalkeeper, the only two to play every minute this season for Colin Clark, the native of Northern Ireland, now in his 8th season. leading North Carolina FC. Quite a career for Clark as a player. Member of Northern Ireland's national team for a while, and the third head coach all time for North Carolina FC. Took over, was hired on December 6, 2011.
The key here, obviously, North Carolina are dropping off a little bit. This is better for Declan Keenan, even Paddy Barrett as well. We've got to drive, even as centre backs, commit North Carolina to defend instead of just dropping back and shifting side to side.
Bone trying to feed it to Ledesma. He goes down, trying to draw the foul call. Didn't get it.
Definitely heavy contact on that, Tommy. I think a foul could have been called in that.
Haven't seen many fouls here through the first 25 minutes. Good pace to this match, certainly. Definitely not the sluggish pace that we saw in the first half or most of the match a week ago when FC Cincinnati fell for just the second time this season in USL play.
No, energy's much different. The quality of possession as well, quality of play has been good. So far defensively, I think they're working very hard. This middle four shifting across. Not an easy task either for midfielders. You're playing in that narrow diamond. You've got to commit to doing the work early, going from left to right, right to left.
Kyle Becker's ball rolls out into his own bench. FC Cincinnati will throw it in and resume action. Barrett forward in the direction of Ledesma, trying to get to it.
Changing up a little bit, trying to stretch the game, trying to find Ledesma in behind North Carolina.
Ledesma tried to turn around and find Kenny Walker. He did not connect with him. Rios will pick it up in the midfield. Graham Smith in the middle. Danso plays it forward to the 18. Evan Newton off his line trying to get to it. North Carolina will try to chip it around Evan Newton. Barrett is there to clear it away. Miller, who sent it into the middle, then crosses it, and Newton comes over to scoop it up and calm everything down.
Gets away with it, honestly, Tommy. Good coverage by Paddy Barrett, though, dropping back onto the goal line. Comes out. Not too sure he needed really to come out. If you're coming out, Tommy, you got to win the ball. Recovers back, but Paddy Barrett again in a good coverage position. Good strong header. And like I said, I think defensively, I think we got away with that one.
Nosby unable to win the ball in the midfield, but Kenny Walker pulls it down. Corbin Bone looking for some space to work, and the midfield suddenly got very cluttered. Now Kanon. Send it out to the right where Justin Hoyt has a ton of space.
Good vision.
Hoyt crosses into the middle, falls to the foot of Ledesma. Now Nosby fires a shot. Danso was there defensively for North Carolina. Manu had the right idea there, trying to drop it back to Corbin Bone. I think it caught Corbin off guard. Walker will switch sides and send it back over to Hoyt. Drops it back to Barrett. Paddy being challenged, able to recover. FC Cincinnati. This is only their third home match of the season. Fourth. They've played 3, 1-1-1. Nosby with the ball in the middle, plays it wide, is touch heavy for Manu Ledesma. If he doesn't push it past him, Manu's set up with a great look.
Good through ball by Paddy Barrett. Nosby turns really well and it just overhits it, like you said, Tommy.
Nosby just waved over to Manu, apologizing.
He's definitely going to get a yellow card for that, I think.
Blake Smith is headed into the book in the 29th minute on the high challenge.
The referee's in a good position, honestly, to call that. Blake just a little overzealous.
for Blake. That is his first booking of the season. Here's a look at it.
Just adrenaline kicks in a little bit here. Just raises up. Referee standing probably about 10 yards away from it, has a perfect view.
Caught a piece of Stephen Miller. And an easy call for Victor Rivas. Koenig has the ball bounce over his head.
Danny might get this, Tommy.
And Harrington is retreating with Koenig shadowing him. Harrington had to play it back to his goalkeeper, Tambakis, to get out of trouble.
We talked about his work rate earlier, too. That's just another kind of sign of what Danny Koenig can do. Puts the fence under a lot of pressure.
Corbin Bone with a shot. Tried to sneak it in to that upper corner to the right of Tambakis and didn't quite get there.
And we're seeing, you know, different options. He's trying to chip the keeper off his line. The Desmond as well, trying to hit that shot from the halfway line. But it's all, to me, it reflects confidence, Tommy. You know, right now the rhythm's good, the tempo's high. Guarantee every single player out there is having fun with this.
Everybody who's been following FC Cincinnati familiar with their great road form so far this year, 4-1-1. They won the last time they were here at Nippert Stadium. That was against Atlanta United FC 2 weeks ago. Excuse me, Atlanta United FC 2. The USL side for the Atlanta professional soccer franchises. Of note with Atlanta United 2, Mitch Hildebrandt, former FC Cincinnati goalkeeper, made his debut for Atlanta United 2 in the past week. They've had some troubles with suspensions and injuries and had to shuffle their goalkeepers all over, and good to see Mitch getting healthy and getting to look for Atlanta United 2. North Carolina FC into the attacking third, trailing by a goal. Looking far post, Miller collides right in front of the goal. I think he got a piece of Declan Kanon. He did. Medical is going to be called out immediately for both of the athletes. Remember, Declan preseason took a nasty cut above his eye in an exhibition over at Gettler Stadium. Miller is up on his feet, and Kanon now saying he's okay. So, great shot there as he kind of rolled his eyes, seeing Aaron Powell already on his way.
We'll see it again, Tommy, but I think Declan actually gets a very, very important touch on this. It's a good service in. I think Declan Kanon just gets this important touch.
Yeah, he does. Great ball from Douay.
Just does enough. Just gets a little bit of a glance. Ends up being the difference, really.
Kanon will get some attention from Aaron Powell, the athletic trainer for FC Cincinnati. And Kanon's going to have to come off before being allowed to check back in. And now he's been signaled allowed to stay on. So FC Cincinnati will not have to challenge this throw-in down a man. Kanon's all right. Powell will make his way back to the bench. And FC Cincinnati actually will have the throw-in. They say it went off for North Carolina FC near touchline. Colin Clark is not happy to see that.
Declan Kanon's not very happy he's having to come off, Tommy.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought. So it was a bit of confusion. Blake Smith sold it as a throw-in for FC Cincinnati.
Well, here's the thing. Anytime that they're coming on to give him attention, he has to come off. So
right.
And then you could tell as soon as he got that glut or that hit, he puts his hand up. He doesn't want any medical staff to come off because he knows exactly what's going to happen. Right? He's got to defend his corner player down.
Well, it'll actually be a throw-in. Taylor will cross it. And the header goes wide to the right of Newton. Rios got his head on it, but couldn't put it square.
And that's really why he's not 100%. Happy at all.
Well, Victor Rivas was very quick when those two collided to signal for medical from both benches. So both players had to hold off there, but we had the great shot there. And when Declan looked up, he was able to see Aaron running towards him, rolled his eyes a little bit, knowing it was too late in the situation.
Right, anytime there's head contact, and the referee's got to call it, he's got to bring the stop on. Proper procedure.
Bardo headed down in the midfield to be called for a foul. This won't come as a surprise to you. The possession so far through the first 34 minutes, 65% in favor of FC Cincinnati.
I think that's been very evident. It's been good possession as well. Now they've played in the middle third, attacking third. I feel like they've created probably 2 or 3 good opportunities so far. I think defensively, really, they've been solid apart from just that mix-up where Evan Newton came out.
Paddy Barrett was there to keep it 1-0.
Good chance again to get numbers forward.
Koenig to the attacking third, trying to cross it in the direction of Corbin Bone, headed away by North Carolina. FC Cincinnati will throw it in. Along the right side, Justin Hoyt will walk over to take it. Well, they're rocking in the boat Bailey right now with a 1-goal advantage. Hoyt throws it into Bone. Bone tries to center it. Cleared away by North Carolina FC. Misplayed ball picked back up by the visitors, and Rios will be fouled in the midfield. Barrett came in a bit tight. Rios, a Mexican product, is on loan to North Carolina FC from Guadalajara. Came up with that club and has appeared with Mexico's U20 national team. Throw in for Blake Smith near touchline. Knocked right back out. Blake Smith will take 4 steps forward and throw it in again. Smith into the middle, Corbin Bone. Danny Koenig's going to pick it up inside of the 18, looking for some help. Badawi closing in. He'll drop it back for Ledesma. Ledesma on the cross. Kenny Walker inside the 18, can't get to it. North Carolina clears it. Walker back to Bone. Bone inside the 18, strikes it and puts it just to the left of Tambakis.
Great little flick here by Kenny Walker. Corbin Bone just unlucky. This ball's played into Kenny Walker. Just a little give and go. Missed the flick on it, but just very skillful little touch just to set. Corbin Bone gets in through. Unlucky again. I think that they have a great understanding. Kenny Walker and Corbin Bone as well. They've been playing for so long, Tommy, as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think we see that often in games.
Danny Koenig gets the pass right at the top of the 18 and can't poke it away before Tambakis comes to gobble it up.
And just another threat from Danny Koenig. He's got the legs.
Pressure on right now for North Carolina FC defensively.
Harrington and Danso, and he's going to be a nightmare for them all night.
Badawi will strike it from 35 yards away and nearly snuck it in.
Love seeing that as well. I talked about confidence, right? Looks up, goalkeeper's office line. It's the right option. Just overhits it a little bit, but great vision. Gets it, turns, looks to see where the goalkeeper is. Good technique. Just overhits it. That's not that far away, though.
He beat Tambakis.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite place it perfectly. .38th minute at Nippert Stadium. The orange and blue with a 1-goal lead. Newton will track down the ball, played back to him outside of the 18. Send it into the midfield. Desma knocked it down, but out far touchline. North Carolina FC, a club that came over from the NASL here for the 2018 USL season. It's not their first USL season, though, because back when they were the Carolina Railhawks, they were part of the USL for 3 years. Corbin Bone with a great pass from Nazmi.
Good interplay again.
Walker out wide right for Hoyt. Hoyt will send it in. Koenig just misses the header, but Nazmi's there to pick it up. Badawi towards the corner of the 18, backs it off for Blake Smith. Back into the middle, knocked away and cleared defensively, but sent right back to Ledesma.
To see Justin Hoyt get around Ledesma here if he can a little bit more.
Hoyt with a shot, turned away, and then cleared for the moment until Richie Ryan got to it.
These movements, you want to see that from your fullback.
Koenig can't get the header.
Trying to overlap from Justin Hoyt, or that time an inside run. But really, that's the extra player usually the difference. You can spring that attack.
Well, the pressure from FC Cincinnati relentless right now in the attacking third.
I think even on this left-hand side, I think Blake Smith can be a little bit more aggressive and get forward.
Walker to Koenig. Back to Hoyt. Al-Badoui. Over to Ledesma, and now back to Bart. FC Cincinnati will reset. Smith has some room over on the left side. I think Kanon's trying to push it in that direction. Instead, he'll leave it short for Ryan.
A lot of times, just see in central positions, North Carolina get pinned in because they have to go centrally to pressure.
Ledesma tried to send it forward with Hoyt coming from the right side. Again, North Carolina was there defensively.
Yeah, and again, I think this is the key for this system. It's trying to find that extra layer from your fullback, combine in between your diamond, but eventually release either the fullback or one of the two forwards.
Walker's pass forward is deflected away. Kenny Walker's going to be called for a foul. He felt like it was a dive.
Not sure about that one.
We'll have to see it on the replay.
Not sure about that.
And that ends about 4 minutes of constant pressure from FC Cincinnati. It was Marcel Canziora who went down. Kenny Walker felt as though he took a dive, immediately signaled for him to get up. Canziora now just getting up. And North Carolina needed that whistle very badly.
Absolutely, yeah, they had to try to kill the momentum, stop it. No, got the ball.
Clean play by Kenny Walker, but Victor Rivas calls it a foul, and now North Carolina FC will try to catch their breath a little bit and get some kind of possession going. No, Ledesma has other plans.
I think FC Cincinnati have to keep this level of momentum up for the last 4 minutes, Tommy.
Absolutely.
They're in control. Get an opportunity, maybe get a second goal going into halftime.
Certainly felt over that stretch like it was coming.
It doesn't matter though, does it?
Tambakis will play it at the top of the 18. Hoyt will head it down. A little bit of contact there in the midfield, and Kenny Walker earns the foul. Bart will stand over the free kick. That would be huge for FC Cincinnati if they could get a second before heading into the dressing room and build upon their 1-0 advantage. Newton strike a bit heavy. Bard heads it down. Miller wins it back. Becker.
Good read by Kenny Walker. Does really well just to step up and intercept that.
Ledesma forward. Koenig was onside, but the ball was too long, and Tambakis came over to play it.
Great work again by Ledesma just to get over and be that first player to pressure.
Manuel Ledesma's looked great in the first half. Impressive that he's even out there after being injured last Saturday at Charlotte. Had a core injury. Aaron Powell didn't think he'd be able to play tonight, but he recovered well during the week and proved in training he was ready to go.
He looked fantastic this week in training.
Becker, a bounding ball that deflected in the direction of Evan Newton. He swatted it down to make sure he could keep it in play. Bone. Ritchie and over to Bart, his fellow Irishman. Back to the foot of Newton, making his 6th start on the season. Bart with Koenig chasing down the right side. Danny trying to get there first, kept it in along the end line, but nobody was there to pick it up for the orange and blue.
Position here to pressure. Tommy certainly compressed with the numbers in this corner. Well done.
Ledesma to Al-Badoui. Nazmi with his left foot. And Nazmi Al-Badawi, against his former team, does it again. Two goals from number 5 in the first half.
Two fantastic finishes in this first half by Nazmi Al-Badawi. It all starts with the press though, Tommy. Great defensive work by FC Cincinnati. They pin North Carolina here. Ledesma, great work, great, lovely little touch inside. Nazmi on his left foot this time, looks up into the top corner again. Just space opens up, he looks and sees where the goalkeeper is. Makes no mistake about it, great finish.
Second time tonight, Al-Badawi and Ledesma have hooked up. And a 2-0 advantage for the home lads as we roll into stoppage time. A minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time have been signaled.
I think the other impressive thing too, Tommy, scored one with his right, scored one with his left. Just shows you again the balance that he has.
So he needs the header now for the natural hat trick, right? Not sure that Nazmi at 5'11" is the leading candidate to score with a header, but certainly has the skills to do it.
He's definitely on for a hat trick, like you said. Great ball.
Al-Badawi knocks it forward with Danny Koenig taking chase. Tambakis will just come out to the corner of the 18 to head it away and kind of shrugs his shoulders. There's nothing else he could do.
The big thing really, Tommy, is these partnerships all over the field are clicking tonight. You know, the energy there, I think the understanding's there. The angles of support.
The chemistry has been there, no question about that.
But just playing in the system as well, especially with these 4 central players. And you add in Danny Koenig and Ledesma as well. A lot of space open up here.
Walker gets around a defender. Kenny Walker put it into the middle, gets it right back, forward for Corbin Bone. Bone trying to beat Tambakis. He cannot. It'll be a corner kick for FC Cincinnati in stoppage time. And yet another great look for the orange and blue.
It's been fantastic. It's been great to watch, honestly. Just like I said, the understanding, little give and goes here. Lovely, weighted little touch. Corbin unlucky. I think Tambakis does well just to put him off. It certainly sets up for a very entertaining game.
It's been that way through 45 minutes. Walker will whip the corner kick from the near side to our left. Might be the last play at the half. Played it short, nobody there in black. Cleared away by North Carolina FC.
It's going to be Kerfiller, just a little bit spread out. Got to get their preventative shape back.
Won't matter. Halftime whistle comes from Victor Rivas. 45 minutes in the books. 45 still to come, and it's been a successful first half here at Nippert Stadium. Lindsey Patterson is down on the pitch. We'll send it down to her momentarily as soon as she is set with Alan Koch, and she is ready. Lindsey, take it away.
Coach, confidence on your side, constant pressure from your guys in that first half. I know you're going to be the first to say it. Nobody's ever won a match in the first 45. How do you carry that momentum?
Well, you just took the words right out of my mouth, obviously. A good 45 minutes. I think we played very, very well. We possessed the ball. We unbalanced them multiple times. Having said that, until we scored the second goal, anything can happen when it's a one-goal game, obviously. And we have to be very, very careful of not exposing ourselves. They're going to try hit us in transition, which they did a couple times. So we've got to go out and make sure we do the exact same thing in the second 45 minutes.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Kevin said before the game he didn't think we'd seen the best yet from Nazmi Al-Badawi. Well, we may have seen some of his best tonight. 2 goals for Nazmi in the first half and a 2-goal lead for the orange and blue. Halftime coverage when we return. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer.
Back at Nippert Stadium, where we are at halftime between North Carolina FC and hometown FC Cincinnati. For the Orange and Blue, Wednesday night meant Open Cup play and a big offensive night for Emery Welshman. 3 goals and an assist for number 10, who's the feature tonight.
The biggest influence in my soccer career has been my older brother and my father. I wear number 10 because it's a very important number. Legends of the game have worn number 10. Typically your leaders wear number 10, or your very creative offensive players wear number 10. And I hope I could fill those needs for this team, and I want to be that guy.
Shot and a goal as the ball skips into the box, and Emery Welshman finds his first of the season.
Welshman does really well, just timing, gets in between both defenders, gloves and flick, past the goalkeeper, 1-0, great finish.
I would say my style of play is very attacking, very direct. I like going forward, I like scoring goals, and I like to entertain the crowd. To date, the biggest accomplishment of my soccer career is coming back from 2 hip surgeries 2 years ago. If you would ask me that question before, it would have been being a first-round draft pick to my hometown, Toronto FC. The FC Cincinnati fans should know that I'm from a blue-collared family, so I bring that ruggedness to the field, but I also like to bring style and elegance as well.
Welshman into the middle. Corbin Bone tries to cross it. It falls to Welshman, and Emery Welshman has the brace.
They should know that my career has been very up and down, and it's an honor to play in front of this crowd and with this organization.
What a night for Emery Welshman. He makes it 4-1.
Welshman and FC Cincinnati taking on North Carolina FC this evening. And throughout the USL, there have been many highlights. Let's take a look at some of the biggest so far 2018.
A couple of moves inside the area.
Curls it in. Oh, what a strike from the captain! The Ram is in! Jesus Enriquez! Drogba blast! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba!
Stutter step. Cavaluzzo!
Saved by Meidel!
Into the penalty area for 3. Frater! And a fantastic save produced by Matt Van Oekel. Incredible save.
Kelly from distance. And Meidel has converted.
Good ball to the back post. Gordon Wiles there, and what a strike from the German.
Zubak has a break on goal. He's looking to put the Galaxy on top 1-0, and he does. Ethan Zubak.
Looking to cross, does. Low cross, punched away. Takes a shot. Now battle of the box. Shot it in!
Get back to the header, score! Cross into the middle for Williamson.
crowd on hand, and the orange and blue leading 2-0. Tom Glitter and Kevin McCloskey back with you, where it certainly has been an entertaining 45 minutes thus far, Kevin.
Very entertaining. I think it's probably the best we've seen, I think, from FC Cincinnati. I think the midfield diamond especially, I think we're having a lot of fun. Ledesma, Danny Koenig have been very threatening. So, yeah, combination play has been good. On 2 strikes that, are top shelf, really, from Nazmi Al-Badawi. Fantastic. One with his left and one with his right. So, you can't really ask for a better half so far.
Well, 2-0 here in the Queen City. Let's take a look at some of the scores from around the USL tonight. It's a busy night of action, and Charleston right now tied with FC Cincinnati atop that Eastern Conference table. 0-0 in the 60th minute at home against Ottawa. Charlotte leading by a goal at home. Pittsburgh on the road up 2-1 as Tampa Bay with a new head coach after letting their coach go this week. And then Louisville City, who will be here next Saturday. They're tied at the half, 1-1 at home with Atlanta United 2, and just started OKC Energy and Colorado Springs at 0-0. Current standings, I mentioned FC Cincinnati tied for first right now in the Eastern Conference. 17 points for the orange and blue. If everything were to hold as it is right now, then FC Cincinnati would move back and be in first all alone, and Charleston ended up with a draw. But you see Louisville City just a point behind, as well as Pittsburgh, who's been unstoppable at home. That's who FC Cincinnati will see coming up on Wednesday in the U.S. Open Cup. Let's flip ahead and look at the upcoming schedule for the orange and blue. That Open Cup match Wednesday at Pittsburgh, and then back to league play. Louisville City FC will be here next Saturday, 7:30. You can get tickets at FCCincinnati.com. Then 2 in a row on the road. Back-to-back Saturdays at Red Bulls 2, at North Carolina FC, and then back June 13th for Bethlehem Steel. Kevin and I'll take a break. When we come back, a peek at first half highlights. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. FC Cincinnati and North Carolina FC making their way out of their respective dressing rooms and getting set for the second half. Tom Glitter alongside All-American Kevin McCloskey back with you. Nazmi Al-Badawi with 2 first-half strikes. And you talked about it a little bit, but the ball movement, as good as we've seen now through 10 matches so far this season for the Orange and Blue.
Certainly, I think from a team perspective, yeah, I think it's been high energy, a lot of confidence. You talked about Nazmi too. That's certainly the best half of soccer we've seen from him too. So, hopefully it can continue in the second half, but so far been very impressed.
Well, he was signed for nights exactly like this. Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by PapaJohns.com. When FC Cincinnati scores twice, you save 50% on pizzas. So use the code FCPizza50 tomorrow, and you save at PapaJohns.com. Here's the first
first from Nazmi.
First strike, great. Again, interchange play. A lot of nice little give and goes, but what a strike with his right foot. That ball movement as well. Kambakis probably didn't see it till late. A lot of dip, and what a finish.
Nazmi didn't want to celebrate, show up his team too much, but the looks kept coming for FC Cincinnati, and there's the second goal.
The second goal really comes from the press. Ledesma wins it, slips. Nazmi again looks up to see where the goalkeeper is, and again this time with his left foot, Tommy, puts it into the top left-hand corner.
2 goals from Nazmi, and that's the difference in the match right now. 10 shots from FC Cincinnati, and you see the possession, 2/3 of it in favor of the orange and blue, and that certainly has been the difference in this match.
Possession has been very impressive, and I think too, you know, they've been playing in the middle third and the attacking third of the field as well, Tommy. Creating those opportunities, like you said, 10 shots on goal, 2 goals, fantastic goals, and hopefully more to come in the second half.
Both clubs huddling up out on the field as Victor Rivas will bring the ball out to the middle of the pitch and get both sides just about set for the second meeting, or the second half of this first ever meeting. Lindsey Patterson was in the dressing room. Let's go down to the pitch and check in.
Yeah, Alan Koch said to his guys, I sound like a broken record, but that score, it really means nothing. And the coach put on the film, and Justin Hoyt raised his hand. He said, Coach, I'm sorry for some of my mistakes out there. The guys realized they have to play a perfect tap out there. Communication is important. Alan Koch told him, if you guys play relaxed the first 5 minutes of the second half, that's when you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point from Alan Koch, as the pressure was on going into the dressing room. In the last 10-15 minutes, it was relentless. And you could argue the entire half, but specifically that last 10-15 minutes, if they could keep that on to start the second half, they could put it away pretty quickly.
Absolutely, and it's key. Anytime that you restart a game, Tommy, you have to come out strong. You've got to start winning physical battles. Everything that put you in a position to have that strong momentum, it's got to be carried on. You can't take your foot off the gas. You can't drop back and become complacent. The job's not done. You know, they've got to go out and they've got to really start this second half very fast.
Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by Sharefax. Foul was called on the far touchline, and North Carolina FC will put it back into play there. Now working right to left in their all-white kits tonight. FC Cincinnati wearing their third kits, all black, to celebrate the blackout here at Nippert. You know who was on the match ticket tonight? Did you notice? Did you check your season tickets before you gave them out this week?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't tonight.
Nazmi Al-Badawi.
There we go. It's a sign.
Paid dividends so far. Let's see if he can continue his strong play in the second half. North Carolina FC trying to get something going offensively. Left side, it's Deleuze. He's been quiet here so far tonight. Deleuze set to throw it in. Try to get the visitors towards the attacking third. He'll go backwards onto the foot of Harrington. Here comes the pressure from Ledesma. He's flowing around all over the place.
You can see Alan Koch on the sideline here, just coaching energy again. It's so important, like we talked about. First 10 minutes of every half, establish that rhythm, put on pressure onto the opponent, and really try to get a stranglehold in this game.
And we've seen Manu flying all over the place. Alan Koch didn't know if he was going to have him tonight for North Carolina FC. Honestly thought he might not have him for a couple weeks. But Manu responded well to treatment, was able to train and back out there with 2 assists, leads the USL now with 6 on the season. Douay will drop it back to Becker. Walker intercepts the pass. Owen will leave it for Richie Ryan. Back to Barrett. FC Cincinnati hits the reset button. Smith will pull back to Richie Ryan. Al-Badawi with the ball forward, tried to sneak it to Justin Hoyt up the right touchline, and Hoyt couldn't quite catch up with it.
Maybe 5 years ago he might have got that, Tommy.
Yeah. Hoyt, 33 years old, a native of England, of course, with Premier League experience.
You see him smiling as he jogs back.
He knows it's true. Yeah.
Listen, you hit your 30s, you don't get that yard back. So
throw-in comes off the head of Graham Smith, and now over to Deleuze. He'll try to work it up the left. Hoyt pokes it away. Bodway gives it right back to Kenny Walker. Now over to Corbin Bone.
Well done again.
Ledesma will let it loose with his left foot, but it ends up right into the paws of Tambakis.
Just the impressive thing is just the energy on both sides of the ball, Tommy. You know, in the build-up play, it's been short, sharp. Everything's been quick, little movement. People are moving into positions quickly. But as soon as they lose it, they're in a position to counter press. And they're committed to going across and adding pressure on this North Carolina team.
Walker forward, Danny Koenig, a step too fast, and the flag went up. Here's that look from Ledesma.
Good
you had a little
again.
space to take it.
No, absolutely. Had the space in front. I think just on that, you're trying to hit top or left-hand corners. Goalkeeper's right in the middle. He's not going to trouble him too much, just hitting it into the middle of the goal.
DeLuce will work it out wide to Due. Into the middle, Smith onto the foot of Becker. Bone pokes it away. North Carolina certainly has been better here the first few minutes as far as controlling some of the possession out of the dressing room. Becker swinging out wide to the right. And the ball sent inside of the 18. Sails a bit and ends up in the hands of Evan Newton.
I think as well, as long as FC Cincinnati are set up defensively and they're compact and they can shift, they'll allow North Carolina to have those balls. You know, serving in probably from 40 yards out from an angle. It's not going to trouble really the back line of Declan Keenan, Paddy Barrett. It's another good ball. He's in.
Koenig onside. Into the 18. Right along the end line. As Danso closed in, he got a piece of it. Corner kick coming. Koenig didn't have any help, but he made the best of the situation.
Yeah, it's a tough angle, Tom. He gets, first of all, the run in behind here. You'll see it. Great ball by Blake Smith. Comes across. Sees that no one's in. Tries to commit something and ends up getting the corner kick. And really, that's the only option he had.
Tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Kenny Walker will wander over and take this one in the 51st minute. It'll actually be 52nd minute by the time he gets to it. FC Cincinnati already leading 2-0, but I know Alan Koch wanted to see a set-piece goal tonight. Can he find one here? Walker on the service, looking far post, just went over the head of Koenig. Both Koenig and Kanan, the big targets, were there.
Stay switched on. Alan talked about this at halftime, his transition, right? These are certainly the moments where an opponent can break down FC Cincinnati in these wide channels. FC do enough really to get it back now, establish another possession.
Blake Smith pushing forward on the left. He'll challenge Stephen Miller.
Great run by Ledesma again, just to find that pocket of space.
Bone gets around a defender. Leaves it off for Al-Badawi. Now to Hoyt. Across the middle, closing in far post was Ledesma. I think he was concerned as if he was in an onside position.
And again, it's great combination play in the middle area, Tommy. We talked about it in the first half. The fullback really trying to get round and providing that extra layer. Justin Hoyt's a great decision here. This ball comes out wide. First touch in. It's got to be a runner too. Alan's got to be screaming, probably at Danny Koenig and Ledesma for not committing and just getting across the front of the goalkeeper.
Al-Badawi, who already has the brace tonight, will send it out wide right to Hoyt and then get it back. Trying to feed it forward for Koenig. Becker intercepts. Visitors trying to get something going in the midfield. Blake Smith misplays it. And Miller will pick it up and wait for some help. Plays it backwards to Taylor. Koenig putting some pressure on Danso. Danny's been plenty active.
That was definitely. Danso actually dealt with it very well, though. Old drop step and turn. But again, just pressure. We talk about it, right? You're in a position to counter press this North Carolina team. We talk about the work rate. Again, go back to Wednesday, the rotation, Tommy. Some of these very important players sat out. Look at the energy from Ledesma, from Richie Ryan, from Kenny Walker.
Danny Koenig,
Nazmi.
Walker, great defensive stop there. Made it look easy. Ledesma will be called for a foul, much to his chagrin and the fans here in the Queen City. North Carolina, the attacking third, kept in along the touchline. Blake Smith commits, but unable to win it back. Into the 18, the shot sails, or goes wide to the right of Newton, I should say.
First real dangerous chance for North Carolina this half.
Canziora, the native of Germany, took it.
Canziora turns as he takes this touch. Does well really to find a pocket of space at the corner of the D. Tries to whip with his left foot, but I think Evan Newton had it covered. Ends up restarting for a goal kick.
Canziora with a great youth upbringing in Dortmund's program. Spent some time with their 2 team. Signed January 19th of 2017 with North Carolina. Headed ball picked up by Ledesma. Ledesma will turn it forward for Koenig. He knocked it down and left it for Al-Badawi, who did not find it on his foot. Becker will drop it back over to the left to Luce. Top of the 18, Barrett battling for it. Took it off the foot of Rios. Harrington will win it back. Bones gets in the way of the pass.
Got numbers here to break.
Ledesma sent it forward for Koenig. Good defense from Due.
Yeah, I think really the better option was Corbin Bone running through that central area.
Due to Becker. Flips it to the other side, DJ Taylor. Becker with his left foot, looking to the far touchline. Blake Smith got there first, but pushed it out, throwing for North Carolina FC. Rios challenged by Walker. FC Cincinnati wins it back.
Just how tight this pressure is too, Tommy. I think for North Carolina, really the space is wide here if you can find him yet. In the first time, I think about 5-10 minutes of being able to find out wide channel.
Taylor skips it across the middle. Does not connect with anybody, but touched. And are they changing the call? No, it'll be corner kick for North Carolina. All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Becker takes them for Colin Clark, the 8th-year head coach of North Carolina FC. This one will come to the right of Evan Newton, near side. Becker strikes it, looking far post. Headed across the middle, Bard gets a piece of it. Newton trying to punch it away. Hoyt can't win it. Bouncing around the 18 and finally deflected away by Koenig. Taylor picks it back up, sends it in. Defended well by Richie Ryan. Becker on the left, back to Harrington. Harrington serves it forward, and the header from Danso goes just wide to the left of Evan Newton. Take a look back at that corner and the challenge from North Carolina.
Danso coming up, 2 in a row actually. Almost gets a touch on it. Evan Newton does well just to get a punch. Ends up, coming off of Nazmi for that clearance. But, you know, FC they have to stay switched on it, especially with a big guy like Danso coming up. Corner kicks, free kicks.
Danso has MLS experience, 60 appearances with Portland from 2011 to 14. Spent some time as a pro in Malaysia. Has 19 caps for Gambia as well. Ledesma was offside. Flag goes up to our right. And Manu will make the slow jog back. Tambakis now showing some urgency to get it back into play. That chance on that corner kick, certainly the best scoring opportunity aside from the ball that Newton misplayed tonight for North Carolina. Bone in the midfield.
Seems like Kenny Walker's been all over the place as well tonight.
Ledesma back to Bone. Has Al-Badawi out wide. Bone and Nazmi. Nazmi can't keep control of it. North Carolina does well defensively. And then doesn't do well to clear it. Has some miscommunication there. Bone taken down from behind. The foul will be called on Alston DeLuce.
FC Cincinnati, I think, are just going to slow down a little bit. We talk about work rate too, Tommy. They've certainly covered some distance, all of these players. And make sure that they recover a little bit, especially on the ball.
We have reached the 1 hour mark here at Nippert Stadium. FC Cincinnati leading 2-0. Tom Glitter, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson. Happy to be with you on what has turned into a beautiful night for soccer here in the Queen City. Ledesma strikes it with his left foot. Koenig making the run. Harrington chopped at it and sent it up over the goal. Corner kick coming for the orange and blue. Ledesma will go over to take it. Barrett, as well as Kane, the center backs, will push forward as big targets. Service from Ledesma headed away. Smith going to send it back in and mishits it wide to the left.
There's too much wrong with that decision by Blake Smith either. Anytime a ball's being cleared out, you've got to be very careful.
Ledesma takes it off the foot of Tambakis, and it'll be a penalty. Tambakis cuts down Manu Ledesma, and as long as Ledesma's okay, he will take it. North Carolina FC will protest. Tambakis and Danso are there arguing with match official Victor Rivas, and it won't matter. Ledesma already has 2 assists tonight. Can he find his first goal of the evening? The penalty will come in the 62nd minute.
Ledesma just gets a touch on this. Tambakis comes. Certainly contact.
Ledesma will stand right at the edge of the 18 and set to take the penalty. The native of Argentina slots it right, and FC Cincinnati has a 3-goal advantage.
Cool as you like finish there, Tommy, from Ledesma. This guy's got quality written all over him.
4th goal on the season for Manu Ledesma, who now leads the team.
Stutter step, sends the keeper the wrong way. Textbook finish, well done. You gotta say that's the killer goal as well, Tommy. 62 minutes in.
Uphill battle for North Carolina FC.
Can't see it, North Carolina coming back, especially with this energy, not just from the players, but from the fans as well.
Saw Ledesma there, signals the heart, then kisses 3 fingers, 1 for his wife and 2 for his children. Big time moment there for FC Cincinnati. Tambakis called for the tackle inside of the 18. Ledesma was okay, so there was no question he was taking the penalty, and he slotted it right. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by UC Health. Kenny Walker knocks it down. And Justin Hoyt unable to keep it alive. You know, we get the opportunity to go to the team presentation 90 minutes before the match that Alan Koch puts on for everybody in the 18. The last thing he showed today in that presentation was a picture from a recent win of the entire team huddled up after a goal, smiling and celebrating. And he asked his guys, that was fun, right? You guys enjoyed that moment. Let's have a moment like that tonight. They've had 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, too, Tommy, we've obviously watched them in training. We talked with Alan on Friday, after Friday's practice as well, just the chemistry.
Blake Smith making a run up the left side. Looking in the middle for Ledesma, doesn't find him, but Al-Badawi picks it up. Nazmi unable to do anything with it. Visitors trying to work up the left side. Rios can't keep it in play.
Just talking about the chemistry, these players like and enjoy each other.
Yeah.
You know, we see it. They never want to leave the practice field. They're practicing free kicks. Having a bit of banter.
Yeah, Becker showed some frustration on that foul. And Kyle Becker, the Canadian midfielder, picks up his 2nd yellow card on the season in the 65th minute.
It's been tough for, you know, Becker and North Carolina. They've not really been able to get anything going, Tommy. For a player, that is frustrating. You know, FC Cincinnati have had so much possession. It's going to be hard, especially for a midfield player. You find yourself chasing a lot.
Bard heads it down. Walker onto the foot of Ryan and Al-Badawi. Nazmi got it started with 2 in the first half. If you're just joining us, scored in the 11th minute on a beautiful strike that might find himself on SportsCenter's top 10 tomorrow. And then did it again in stoppage time. Actually, it was right before stoppage time, the 45th minute. Nazmi scored his 2nd of the night, 3rd on the season. Ledesma assisted on both of those goals. So Ledesma having himself a night. Now with a goal on the penalty and 2 assists.
You know, obviously, there's a lot of credit that goes to Ledesma and Al-Badawi.
Here's Ledesma into the 18. Trying to send it back across to Danny Koenig as Danso moved in defensively.
But just finishing that thought, too. Think about all the other players that have kind of contributed to this. You know, the hard work, the interceptions, the passes, combinations. Corbin Bone, Kenny Walker, Richie Ryan, all these players have contributed a lot to this.
100%. You were talking about the chemistry of this team and how they all enjoy being around each other. What happened at the end of training yesterday? They were all hanging out. Nobody wanted to go in. Allen was trying to get them in, get them treatment and rested. And a couple of the guys were still doing work, and the guys who weren't, were watching the guys who were still doing work.
I think just as the season's gone on, I mean, the chemistry's certainly improved. I think that they've really started to bond, Tommy. You're seeing it on the field too. Once you have that understanding, not fight for each other, that's on display tonight, it's definitely a thing of beauty.
With all the newcomers, there was no question it was going to take some time to come together. FC Cincinnati has come together, folks. Bone right at the top of the 18. Becker got in the way. Tried to get it to Nazmi in the first place. When that didn't work, he tried to pick it back up himself. Colin Clark is going to go to his bench with a pair of subs at the next opportunity. We'll see Mario Lomas check in, as well as Donovan Iwalu, who will make his USL debut.
I think for Colin Clark, I think he's got to roll the dice, Tommy.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, for him, it's got to happen probably in the next 5-10 minutes if they can get a goal. I do think it's a killer goal. I think the momentum, even now, you know, defensively, I think FC Cincinnati are doing a really good job of making it compact. And winning the ball back again and again. You know, it would be very, very tough for North Carolina.
For North Carolina FC, their first ever trip to Nippert Stadium has been a nightmare thus far. Kanon comes forward to poke it away, and then the visitors are able to regain the possession. Becker, 30 yards out. Richie Ryan gets in the way. Badawi forward for Bone. Ledesma and Bone.
It's 3v2 here, Tommy, if they can play quickly.
Here we go to Danny Koenig inside of the 18. Koenig gets on the board with his 4th goal of the season. The crowd roars again here at Nippert Stadium as the route is on.
What's interesting, it started off as a 2v2. Ledesma looks up, then springs into a 3v2, finds a space at Danny Koenig. I thought the defender almost was going to get that crucial touch, but Ledesma or Danny Koenig takes the touch, looks up, ends up putting it underneath the arm of Tambakis, and you've got to say, Tommy, that is definitely the killer goal.
Chants of FCC echo throughout this historic venue with the smoke pouring from the Bailey, and FC Cincinnati a 4-goal advantage.
Think the fans are having fun, Tommy?
Oh, I think they're having a party here at Nippert. The subs come on. Iwalu, you see right there, the native of Cameroon. The 21-year-old makes his USL debut, as well as Mario Loomis, the 6'2" forward from the Netherlands. And a sub coming for FC Cincinnati, and you're going to hear this place roar when it is announced. Emery Welshman, who had a hat-trick Wednesday in Open Cup play, will come on, and Manu Ledesma, a goal and 3 assists tonight, will step out in the 70th minute.
You talked about, obviously, he's had a night tonight, Tommy. He's been fantastic. Coming back so quickly from that injury as well, but you're bringing Welshman on, who scored a hat-trick on Wednesday. And from a coach, if you've got that firepower from those 3 players, you're in good shape. Danny Koenig, obviously on the score sheet tonight. Emery Welshman, Manu Ledesma. Things are good, man.
The 4 goals for FC Cincinnati matches a club record. Now, it happened 2 weeks ago against Atlanta United 2 here at Nippert Stadium. Of course, it happened last year at Nippert when GB scored all 4 of them himself. So if the orange and blue can find one more over the final 20 minutes, it would be a new record for this team here in its 3rd year of existence.
I think you're going to see this team be ruthless as well. I don't think they're going to stop. You know, a clean sheet is very, very important too. And as soon as you take your foot off the gas, you're susceptible to concede. And I think for any team, you know, that's definitely going to be very upsetting when that happens. And I don't think it is going to happen.
North Carolina FC arrived here in Cincinnati, a team with a lot of confidence. Unbeaten their last 4 league matches, 2-0-2 over that stretch. Here's a ball inside of the box. Taylor's cross turned away by Kanon. Throw will come inside the attacking third for North Carolina. Talk about a game plan working perfectly. That's been the case for the orange and blue tonight.
Game plan, not just the game plan, the execution of the game plan,
100%.
Right? I think that's the biggest thing in this game of soccer too. You've got a game plan from the coaching staff. You still rely on the players for the execution. And when it comes together like it came together tonight, Tommy, then that's when the excitement happens.
Richie Ryan slow to his feet after being knocked down at the corner of the 18. Well, the offense has been prolific this year for Alan Koch's team, especially after the first 4 matches of the season, and it has continued here tonight. One of your keys tonight, a team that thrives on energy, to build off that. Well, they got energy in the 11th minute when Nazmi Al-Badwi scored, and they've never looked back since.
I don't think they're done either yet, Tommy.
Becker will push it right to left for North Carolina.
It's a great touch.
Comes out wide to the right, off the back of Smith. Iwalu trying to make something happen. And the shot will sail up into the Bailey. Well, they're about to announce the attendance. We were just handed that number as well. 22,884 on hand for the 4th USL home match of the season. So the great crowds continue. We expect to see another good one next Saturday when rival Louisville City is here for the 2nd time in 2018. The only home loss of the year came at the hands of Lou City 1-0 in the home opener. Welshman forward, Koenig along the end line, sends it back across the middle, just missed, feeding it back to Emery.
Welshman and Danny Koenig already starting to get on the same page. I talked about the firepower for any successful team, Tommy. If you've got natural, healthy competition, it's definitely a threatening thing for any team. You're going to get goals from different places, different people. I'm sure Emery Welshman is going to be very hungry now to try to make his name on the score sheet tonight as well.
Had that great performance, not only the hat trick, but he assisted on the game winner by Corbin Bone, who came in off the bench. 2 subs remaining for Alan Koch. Should he look down his bench and decide to go to somebody, and I would imagine he might before this is over with a 4-goal lead. And Danny Koenig's going to end up in the book.
Just unnecessary.
Wasn't happy about the foul call and had a few too many words for Victor Rivas.
Here's my problem with this, Tommy. I mean, the score line, it's insignificant. You're at the halfway line. There's not really any danger of a play that's going to change the game coming. I think that's a little bit of lacking in discipline there from Danny Koenig.
Well, following Danny Koenig's goal, he is now tied with Manu Ledesma with 4 goals on the season. For Danny, that is only his 2nd yellow card on the year. Mentioned it earlier, Forrest Lasso out on suspension tonight, having picked up 5 so far this year. Ball's going to come out on the end line, and a corner kick coming for North Carolina, trailing by 4 goals. There with 15 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. The 2 in danger right now of accumulation suspensions, Captain Deco Kanan and Manu Ledesma, they each have 4. Becker on the corner kick, punched away by Newton. Sent back to Becker near touchline. He'll send it back with his left foot. Nearly headed right in front of Newton, but it'll skip out. And a goal kick coming for number 1 in red.
Pretty close opportunity there, Tommy. The glancing header.
There's Iwalu battling for it.
Decker whips that ball in.
Alan Koch having a long chat with his technical staff over in the dugout, probably considering what to do with these subs. We saw Russell Cicerone come on the match, make his FC Cincinnati debut. He's not played in a USL game, but came in and saw good minutes off the bench on Wednesday night in the Open Cup. Let's quickly go down to the pitch, check in with Lindsey Patterson.
I just talked to Alan Koch about those 2 final subs, and he keeps walking to the end of his bench and talking to Jack Stern and other assistants, and they're still contemplating on what to do.
Well, we'll see what Alan decides with now about 13 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. You can see him pacing around and thinking about it, but this might be a good opportunity to get Russ into the match and get him some more USL minutes, especially if he's thinking about involving him again on Wednesday when they go back to Open Cup play at Pittsburgh.
Good chance, yeah, definitely for a young player to come in. I'm looking at it. Does it make sense to take Deco Kanan off?
Maybe get Sem David in for the first time this year.
Or does he want him to get his fit? I mean, it really just depends.
Danso will clear it away, but it falls to Blake Smith. Iwalu comes over to pick it up. Kanan has other plans.
I think Michael LaHood actually looks like the player that's going to be coming in.
Looks like he and Jimmy were the 2 that were warming up in earnest, and now LaHood has been called over to Alan Koch. LaHood with 3 USL appearances. Played the entire way on Wednesday night. Walker will clear away the cross. Iwalu knocks it down. North Carolina trying to find some sort of momentum. Trailing here at Nippert, Evan Newton catches the ball right at the 6-yard mark and quickly throws it out to Nazmi Al-Badoui, who's already had a great night.
2v2 here, Tommy.
Nazmi forward for Emery. Welshman with 3 white shirts on him has nowhere to go. Kept it alive, and then Nazmi lost his footing as he sent it out wide. Corbin Bone picks it up, takes it right off the foot of Miller.
I think the other thing Alan's really got to start thinking about this Wednesday Open Cup game and managing minutes. You know, he's probably going to look into his midfield.
Danso's called for a foul as Welshman was trying to turn on the ball about 8 yards outside of the 18.
I think if out of that forward diamond, if he can get 2 players rest, and maybe those players feature again in Wednesday's game, that could be the game plan.
A lot of the guys in the diamond right now, Nazmi and Corbin played on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Richie and Kenny did not. Lahoud certainly coming in for one of those 4. I got your answer, Richie Ryan. So the 33-year-old will come off.
Yeah.
Kenny Walker will stand over the free kick in the 80th minute here at Nippert Stadium. Walker with his right foot, it's deflected. And a corner kick coming for the orange and blue. 22,884 enjoying the blackout here tonight. First time we've seen FC Cincinnati in their 3rd kits this season. Walker will take his time going over to take the corner, and now they will wait until after this corner to get Lahoud into the match. Walker will swing it from the right of Tambakis. Headed away by North Carolina FC. Corbin Bone will pick it back up in the midfield. They'll send it over near side, and Hoyt hard trying to push it back forward, mishit it. Walker coming crashing in, will be called for the foul. Well, FC Cincinnati certainly has neutralized the attack for North Carolina. They've had a few looks, but the home side certainly hasn't given up many. Richie Ryan will come off, and Michael Lahoud stepped on in the 82nd minute. Final sub will come as well for North Carolina FC. Ganziora will come off, and Bernard Luxbacher will check in. They didn't get that sub in during that break, so he'll have to wait for the next stoppage. 4-0, orange and blue in the 82nd minute. Cross is easily gobbled up by Evan Newton. McLaughlin has his jersey top on. He'll be the next sub for Alan Koch.
I imagine Jimmy's probably going to come into the top of that diamond.
Give Nazmi a moment.
Yeah.
Also some rest as he's working his way back from injury. Get him out, get some ice on him early.
Welshman could be in here again.
Welshman nearly found Nazmi. He'll pull it to the right. Walker. Not able to feed it forward for Bone. Goes off of his old team. And it will not be for Nazmi. It'll be for Danny Koenig when Jimmy steps onto the pitch. Here comes the substitution for North Carolina. Luxbacher will make his 5th appearance. He actually scored a goal Wednesday night in the Open Cup match. And Danny Koenig now will take his time coming off. Round of applause for fan favorite Jimmy McLaughlin, making his 71st appearance for FC Cincinnati. He's the all-time club leader in appearances. And checks in the 84th minute.
Yeah, fans obviously love Jimmy. I think it's a good time. I think Danny Koenig had a really good game again tonight, Tommy.
Absolutely. So the two targets up top have come off. Koenig and Ledesma making way for Welshman and McLaughlin. Justin Hoyt be more than content to stand around and wait to throw this ball in, run some clock off. He also had moved forward about 10 yards, and that will now be corrected. Bone trying to get a shot off just outside the 18. No trouble there for Tambakis. The sub was actually Luxbacher for Smith, not Canziora, so there was some confusion. The cards being worked out down in midfield, but Luxbacher has now come on. Hood with the header, and then Bone trying to play it out wide for Blake Smith. Comes off his foot. 5.5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at home for FC Cincinnati, who are well on their way to win number 6 on the season.
Just watching Corbin Bone here just chase from left to right, Tommy. This guy's a machine. You'd love to have his energy, I know that.
Sometimes I feel like my 6- and 3-year-old have their energy, have his energy. He's learning about that right now with an 8-month-old. Top of the 18, shot for North Carolina, deflected up into the Bailey, and they will have a late corner kick coming. Let's see if I did the math right in my head. 8 months, yeah. Born in early September, I believe.
I think it's going to challenge you on that one.
Andy might be at home with Brooks right now. So I want to make sure I get it right.
Absolutely.
Becker will take another corner from the far side to the left of Evan Newton. Becker serves it, and it's snuck past Evan Newton. The clean sheet slips away from the orange and blue.
It's going to be disappointing. Obviously doesn't mean anything in the way of the result, but I think just from a performance standpoint, I know Alan's going to be upset about that.
Mario Lomas, 6'2" forward from the Netherlands, has his second goal of the season. So Lomas from Becker on the set piece. And North Carolina on the board for the first time tonight. Won't make a difference in the final result.
It's irrelevant, I think,
but,
you know, as far as the scoreline. But like I said, it's one of those things, especially for a backline and a goalkeeper too. It's the same as scoring a goal, Tommy, for them. You know, 100%. They take pride in that. Just a little bit of a mental lapse. That's the difference on a set piece.
Newton will take his time now in the 87th minute. Looked like he was on his way to his 3rd clean sheet on the season, spoiled by Mario Lomas.
What up, Ken? What on?
Welshman working along the end line, sends it across. Bit past Jimmy McLaughlin. And it'll be a throw-in for North Carolina, far touchline. Oh, busy week upcoming for Alan Koch and his squad. Wednesday at Pittsburgh in the 3rd round of the U.S. Open Cup. The winner of that match will play an MLS team next. We don't know yet who it is or where that 4th round match will be. And then back home next Saturday when Louisville City will be here. If you don't have tickets, log on to FCCincinnati.com right now and pick up your tickets for Saturday. 2 scores of note. I'll give them to you here in a moment as North Carolina battling inside the 18 and will roll out along the end line. Charleston now full-time. A 0-0 draw with Ottawa, so that's big. FC Cincinnati back into first all alone. They were tied for first with Charleston coming into the night. So Charleston picks up 1 point. FC Cincinnati is going to pick up 3, and will move 2 ahead of the Battery. And right now in the 87th minute, Louisville and Atlanta United 2 tied at 1 apiece.
If that result stands as well, Tommy, that gives FC Cincinnati a little bit of breathing room. Louisville have a game in hand, of course.
FC Cincinnati would be 3 points ahead of their rivals in the standings. Ball nearly found Jimmy McLaughlin. Now it will come off to the chest of Bone. Bone and McLaughlin hooking up. Two of the three OGs, holdovers from the 2016 team. Of course, Kenny Walker is the other. Those three all amongst club leaders in minutes played all time. All three of them in the top 5. The other two in the top 5, Mitch Hildebrand and Harrison Delbridge. Tambakis, top of his box, will send it out into the midfield. Lahoud was trying to push it forward and misplayed it to the far side. For North Carolina FC, they're back in action Friday night in league play against Atlanta United 2. Al-Badawi out wide for McLaughlin. Jimmy will drop it for Bone. Out to Walker. Two minutes of stoppage time will be added on here. Hoyt on the right. Nosby will give it back to him. Hoyt just outside the 18. Justin Hoyt just misses. He was looking for a royal strike on a day when there was a royal wedding back home.
Oh, that is cheese sandwich, buddy. That's probably the cheesiest line I've ever heard.
Oh, come on.
Give and go.
Look at Hoyt.
Again, just outside the right foot. Tries to bend and he's not far away.
Justin doesn't get many opportunities.
Oh, my goodness.
If we can't have fun, partner, what are we doing
That's
here?
it, buddy.
It has been a fun one tonight. We are in the stoppage time. FC Cincinnati on top 4-1. Crowd of 22,000 plus have enjoyed what they have seen from the orange and blue. That late goal conceded didn't wipe Nosby out from having the potential game winner because he scored the first two tonight.
Yeah.
So still in line for his first game winner of the year. Walker forward, finds Welshman, catches up with it at the corner of the 18, but unable to keep the possession. FC Cincinnati came into this match with a +4 goal differential. Right now it's pushed to +7. Lahoud up to Nosby, into the box. Jimmy McLaughlin can't poke it past Tambakis. That would have been the club record if McLaughlin had found the net. And it would have set off a smoke one more time in the Bailey, assuming they have some left. Great ball from Nosby. Just a hair ahead of Jimmy.
It looked like Jimmy got his feet caught underneath him.
Up the right side. Kanon does well to just let it roll out along the end line, and he'll look towards Victor Rivas and hope for a full-time whistle after Evan Newton puts it back into play. Newton, the 30-year-old goalkeeper, knows here not to push it, but not to put his foot into it too quickly either.
No, he's gonna kill it here. Certainly gonna take his time.
Newton will square it, send it out into the midfield. The full-time whistle sounds, and they are dancing in the Bailey. Tonight at Nippert Stadium, a 4-win victory in convincing fashion for FC Cincinnati. Nosby Al-Badawi, 2 first-half goals. His second will stand as the game winner. And FC Cincinnati improves to 6-2-2 on the season. Tonight's moment of the match is presented by Toyota. Let's go places, and the early momentum from number 5 got it started for the orange and blue.
What a strike again. This is little combination play. Feeds Nazmi, looks up, sees where the goalkeeper is, and what a strike. You're not going to see too many goals like that this season, not just from this team, but in the USL, Tommy. That's a fantastic strike.
Well, Badouri will certainly be up for goal of the week. He scored 2. FC Cincinnati scored 4 and got the win here at home for the second time this season. We'll step aside, take a break, have all the highlights from tonight, as well as some interviews from down on the pitch. All of that coming your way next. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glader and Kel McCloskey back with you at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati victorious 4-1 as they put away North Carolina FC. Lindsey Patterson is with victorious head coach Alan Koch.
Coach, you told your guys in the first 5 minutes of the second half, don't get too relaxed out there. Well, they didn't. They didn't put their foot off the pedal.
No, the guys played all night long, which was awesome. I think we played some of our best soccer we played all season tonight. It was very, very impressive. It's very rewarding for the guys to see everything we work on every single day, and then you don't always get rewarded for it in this business, but it was nice to see them go out and obviously take care of business. It's also very, very nice to see Naz go score some great goals against his old team. I think the part that's still eating away a little bit at us right now is obviously conceding that goal. So we'll deal with that, but we're very, very happy with how the guys played tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Lindsey, thank you. We will hear from Nazmi here in a moment, but first it's time for the Toyota post-match highlights, and plenty of them tonight for the orange and blue, and it was Nazmi El Badouri getting it started early.
Started early, and obviously getting these fans on their feet, Tom, and it really, continued the entire game, but what a strike by Nazmi. Looks up, drills it, dips over the goalkeeper as well into the top right-hand corner. Fantastic strike.
That made it 1-0. Nazmi wasn't done in the first half.
This comes again from pressure. This comes from work rate off the ball. Ledesma wins it back, slips through, this time with his left foot. Al Badawi puts it into the top left-hand corner. Great finish.
So it's 2-0 at that point. Then Ledesma goes down. Tambakis got a piece of him, and the penalty was awarded.
This again, stutter step here. Puts the keeper the wrong way. And that's a class finish, Tommy, from a class player.
Ledesma had a night. A goal and 2 assists. 3 assists. FC Cincinnati wasn't done. King Koenig with the strike.
And again, Ledesma just with a perfectly weighted through pass. You say King Koenig comes up, slips it underneath the goalkeeper, and great for him to get another goal too.
4th on the year for the big man from Denmark in North Carolina FC. Well, they found the goal once late, and you heard Alan, it's eating away a little bit.
I mean, it's the only kind of thorn in the side, really. It's conceding that goal. Could have been a clean sheet, could have been a perfect game. But to be honest, Tommy, it was very, very impressive. Okay, and 3 well-deserved points.
Now, Nazmi El Badouri, the brace tonight. He's down on the pitch with Lindsey.
Yeah, guys, down here with Nazmi. You scored 2 goals against your former team. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it's a special feeling to score, especially against my former team. That club means the world to me, to be honest. I wish them nothing but the best, unless we're playing against them. If we're playing against them or it affects us, and obviously I want us to pull out. I want my club of FC Cincinnati to win, but that club has a special place in my heart, and moving forward, I wish them good luck, but I'm glad I was able to help us beat them today.
Can you walk us through that second goal?
Yeah, the second goal I thought was great overall team pressure. Started with the ball into the midfield, I pressed the guy, he laid it off, and then Manu was in a good spot to press the center back. Manu was able to block the delivery and then play me in, and I shot it with my left, and then sometimes they go in, so I was happy with that.
You guys are having some fun out there. You're sitting atop of the Eastern Conference. Is everything just clicking on both sides?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing for us is I think that we're still only going to get better. Like we said, it's a brand new team. We've had guys out. I've been out with an injury for a little while, so it was nice for me to get back in and play with those guys again. And we're starting to learn how each other play, and I think that as we continue to do that, we're only going to get better and better. And today was a step in the right direction, so hopefully we can keep that going.
Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Great job downstairs tonight. You said at the top of the broadcast, partner, maybe tonight we see the best from Nazmi. It was the chemistry that led to his goals. We may have seen the best from all 11 out there on the pitch for 90 minutes.
Yep, 100%, Tom. I think we certainly have seen the best performance from Nazmi. And to be honest, I think for FC Cincinnati, that's the best soccer they've played all season. It was electric. It was entertaining. We talked about the chemistry, being on the same page. And really, at the right times, too, they look ruthless, you know. From individual performances to team performances, it was fantastic to watch.
Electric, certainly a good way to put it. Once again, our final score from Nippert Stadium. FC Cincinnati 4, North Carolina FC 1. Our next broadcast of USL Soccer on WSTR comes your way Saturday when FC Cincinnati takes on Louisville City. Our next home match is also May 26th when the rivals are here at Nippert Stadium. For my broadcast partners, Kevin McCloskey and Lindsey Patterson, as well as our producer, David Ashbrock, I'm Tom Glader saying goodnight, and thanks for tuning in to FC Cincinnati.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.